Sent her a lot of love letters.
Host, how are you two doing today? Suzanne Summers' husband, Alan Hamel, and son, Bruce. Alan, I go in and out. I have my family around me and have had since this happened. And they haven't told me this, but I think there was a plan to make sure he's not alone. And I love that. So I go in and out. When I think about what happened, I lose it, and then I regain it. And it's probably going to be that way for a while until things settle down. But I lost half of me. We were one. I lost half of me like that. I think yesterday we were in a bubble, and it was special to all be together. And today, the overwhelming outpouring of love from everyone is heartfelt. But it's a whole additional wave of emotion as well. Yesterday, she was just a mom, and today she's back to seeing Suzanne Summers in everyone's eyes. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate everything that she's done and the way she has touched so many people. You know, we started off with thousands of people and tens of thousands of people, then hundreds of thousands of people. And it's amazing. All over the world, people aren't just writing in, "I feel badly for you, my condolences." They poured out their hearts. She had touched them one way or another. She fought and fought and fought and used every possible kind of healthcare, whatever was right. And it looked like she was going to make it, and then it just overwhelmed her. And I was with her in bed at 5 in the morning Sunday, and so it was peaceful. And I was glad our whole family could come and see her, and it was a beautiful experience. Host, what was the final exchange between the two of you? Alan, she wasn't talking at the end. The last couple of days she stopped eating, she stopped talking, wouldn't take her medicine, and we didn't know if she was alive or not. And I kept taking her blood pressure, but she wouldn't respond. She was not responsive in any way. And then when I kissed her, she responded kissing me back. And I knew that she heard what I was saying. I had talked to her for hours, well into the night, hoping that she could hear me, and I think she did hear me. We knew this day would come, but we thought it would be me because I'm 10 years older than Suzanne. And then I thought, what a conundrum. If it's me first, then she's alone. I don't want her to be alone. Host, how would you describe the relationship they were in? Bruce, inseparable. And I joked that they were functionally codependent with a small f on functionality, but there's not many people you know. People say, "Oh, I could never spend that much time with my maid," and they never got tired of each other. They were like this. Alan is very private, doesn't want to be a public person. My mother loved being in the public, and so he protected her. You know, my mother had an amazing talent for being 100% present with whomever she was with. And that wasn't just a public persona. She was 100% a wife, 100% a grandmother, 100% a sister, and 100% a mother. Bruce, you got to see that relationship between your mother and Alan from a different angle, but what did Alan mean to her? Bruce, it wasn't always so rosy. It was for me, but the reality is that everything takes hard work. And these two started on, it was because they were very different people, there was friction that they would work through. And sometimes it was tumultuous. But what's ironic is that for two people who everyone thought wouldn't work at the beginning, they're who we model our relationship after. We, make sure we don't get to bed angry with each other. We make sure that we speak from our heart, speak the truth. Part of a great love is showing up, and these two showed up for each other 100% every day. Host, I want to ask you about the poem you wrote to Suzanne. It was beautiful. Tell me about writing that. Bruce, I have sent her a lot of love letters, but didn't have to be a birthday or an anniversary. It was just, I'd feel something and I would want to memorialize the moment and I'd send it to her. And that's what that really was. It happened to coincide with her birthday. She would have been 77, but I could never find a feeling that was so deep enough to realize describing what our relationship was. And I'm not exaggerating. The longer we were together, the deeper the relationship. And in every aspect, and that was a big one. Respect was a big one. And she also was not only the matron of the family, she's the one who actually carved out this family. Because when we got together, I came with 2 kids and she came with Bruce. And putting 2 families together is brutal and really worked really well. Our worked really well. We are all one. We talked to Tani, her Dancing with the Stars partner, and Alan. Here's what he said. Tani said that you and Suzanne were the poster children of love. Alan, wow, oh thank you. I'll take that. I'll take that one in. In life, you never know what's going to happen. Suzanne and I didn't plan any of this, okay? We weren't wise enough, old enough, didn't even have wisdom to plan anything. This just evolved. We didn't plan on being together constantly for 42 of our 55 years. We didn't plan that at all. We just evolved. We wanted to be together, and she said to me one day, you know, when you're in another room in the house and I miss you, and I said, I feel the same way. And I know that to a lot of couples, that sounds really weird. And it is weird, but it worked for us. She was my everything. I want to ask you, Bruce, about being the son of Suzanne Somers. What was that like? Bruce, I had 11 years where it was the two of us, you know, sort of against the world. And then we moved down to Los Angeles, and she was really going to make this thing called acting give it a go. And shortly thereafter, she landed 3 companies and we started blending families. I think that, of course, there was some getting used to it. I wouldn't do it in any other way to have lived and grown, raised very sort of humbly, and then have sort of privilege. Gave me a lot of gratitude, but more importantly, there was her. And in fact, when we would be in Las Vegas and she'd be talking and she'd be getting ready to go do a show, it'd be 10 minutes before the show and she had looked at me and said, I have to go be her now. And it's a different persona. It wasn't a fake persona. It was just another aspect of her. We all knew, we all enjoyed it. I mean, she provided an incredible ride for all of us. And everyone, not obviously Alan, everyone knows about their relationship. But myself and we're a blended family. So I call my stepbrother and stepsister my brother and sister. All of us always felt loved. Bruce, you know, your mother had such energy. When did things change for her and how was it? Bruce, it was actually pretty rapid. Because in the last 3 years when she fell down the stairs and broke her neck, she's just hardy-ish stuck. And it was about 6 weeks before she actually went to the hospital. And she was finally in excruciating pain. But that's just a sort of keyhole into her spirit. And during the last year or so when she was in pain, I'd ask her, are you in pain? And she said, so much it's not even worth talking about. And that's her strength. Just to push it out, and somewhere in the middle of that every holiday she was present and we were having these beautiful exchanges, and she even managed to cook incredible meals and Thanksgiving and all of those wonderful experiences. Host, how will you keep Suzanne with you each and every day? Bruce, I don't know. I have talked to her for hours and hours. I've said all these things to her. I've told her how much I love her. I've even told her that I'm going to miss her so much. Told her that I'm going to try and make her proud. I've told her that I'm going to try and live my life in a way that would make her happy. And I hope that she's heard me. Host, thank you both for being with us today. Bruce, thank you for having us. Alan, thank you.